organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, the economy was a hot topic during Vice President Biden's speech in Iowa today. See what he said during his visit to the Quad Cities.
Plus, find out about an Iowa City organization designated to take care of pets for those unable to do it themselves.
And in sports, the longest tenured coach at the UI announces his retirement. We'll tell you why diving legend Bob Ridds is stepping down.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in to your Wednesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Brad Maxwell.
And I'm Allie Wright. Vice President Joe Biden visited the Hawkeye State Wednesday, and manufacturing was one of his major talking points. Daily Iowan TV's Josh Bolander was in Davenport today covering the event.
What could possibly bring hundreds of people of all ages, dozens of Secret Service and law enforcement officials, and bunches of cameras and press all to a manufacturing plant in eastern Iowa? The answer is simple. How about a trip from the Vice President of the United States of America, focusing on the state of Iowa?
Some of our political opponents wonder why the President and I have spent so much time working to bring manufacturing back. No one in the heartland has to wonder about that. You all know why.
While many supporters of the Obama and Biden re-election campaigns showed up in droves to pledge their allegiance to the current vice president, the visit to PCT Engineering Systems in Davenport, Iowa, was not just a campaign rally, but a business trip, with Biden advocating the commander-in-chief's plans to bring back American jobs and to focus on rebuilding the middle class.
The only growth that really matters, growth that is widely shared by everyone in this country, can only happen when the middle class is growing again.
While the majority of the vice president's speech and a documentary shown beforehand to members of the audience touched on issues requiring national attention, Biden was quick to point out the strides companies like PCT are making and will continue to make into the future.
50%, all the workers here know, the 50% what they produce here at PCT Engineering are sales that are destined to be exported. That's a big deal.
Even with the White House's plan focusing on bringing back American jobs, Biden stressed the importance of getting House Republicans on board if the United States is to move out of what he described as a god-awful recession Obama inherited in 2008.
Don't tell me that America can't make things anymore, can't compete in the world market anymore, can't lead the world again anymore. We will lead the world again in every aspect of the economy.
As for Biden's thoughts on challenger Mitt Romney,
with Mitt Romney arguing that we should let Detroit go bankrupt. What we did is we rescued the auto industry. We administered some of the very toughest medicine.
While it remains to be seen whether Obama and Biden's plans to restore jobs nationally will work, it was clear here today that it will at least help eastern Iowa, something both supporters and Iowans can be positive about. From the Vice President's speech in Davenport, Josh Bolander, Daily Iowan TV.
European Union Ambassador Joe Valle de Almeida spoke at the University College of Law Wednesday night about the European sovereign debt crisis. Enrique Carrasco, a professor here at the law school and director of the group hosting the event, said the crisis has allowed many countries to gain massive public debt. The crisis has also led to high unemployment rates and a stagnant economy in many countries such as Spain, Italy, and Ireland. And the students that attended the lecture were very interested in what he had to say about the EU.
The ambassador, brought up a lot of good points about how we're all interlinked economically, and I know it's quite interesting to hear him speak, especially from an outside view.
Iowa cable provider Mediacom has granted customers a 2-week extension before analog reception is fully eliminated for older television sets. For the past 6 years, Mediacom customers have received both digital and analog signals, but the analog signals are being eliminated to make room for faster broadband internet speeds and more high-definition channels. The all-digital upgrade is expected to be completed by April 10th.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, Find out why the driving simulator at the University of Iowa was making national news.
In sports, hear from two of Iowa football's veteran coaches on the changes being made this year.
Now let's check in with Mariel Kone to see what we can expect weather-wise for the rest of the week. Mariel?
Thank you, Brad. And boy, was it gorgeous today. The sunny weather will be back tomorrow morning with highs around the upper 40s to start off the day, which will go into the afternoon. There's also an 80% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow evening. And looking at our extended forecast, these thunderstorms will continue into Friday, so dress appropriately. But it won't last because the sun will be back on Saturday and Sunday with highs in the 70s. Temperatures will drop back to the mid-60s on Monday and Tuesday and even lower on Wednesday. So definitely get out there this weekend and take advantage of the weather if you can. Back to you.
The National Driving Simulator here in Iowa City is once again making headlines. The simulator allows researchers to test what it takes normal drivers to get distracted in a safe environment. The metal simulator is large enough to fit an entire car and is equipped with hydraulic legs and an LCD projector, allowing realistic driving situations. The simulator also has cameras that monitor drivers' eye movements while drivers perform simple tasks like adjusting their chair, talking on the phone, and texting. Texting while driving was banned in Iowa last July.
Iowa Governor Terry Branstad will be one of 4 governors this week to tour the only facility where pink slime beef is manufactured in an effort to clear up misconceptions about the product. Pink slime beef takes fatty bits of meat from other cuts and then is heated and exposed to bacteria-killing enzymes to produce a low-cost beef product that is as high as 97% lean beef. Opponents of pink slime beef argue that it's an example of industrialized food production. The South Dakota-based company Beef Products announced Monday that it was suspending operations at plants in Iowa, Kansas, and Texas. The only operational plant is in South Sioux City, Nebraska.
Caring for the sick and elderly is a nonstop job, but what happens when those sick and elderly have pets that also need taken care of? Through the Iowa City Hospice, Pet Peace of Mind is a program helping terminally ill patients in the Iowa City area to care for their pets. Volunteering duties include delivering food, walking, grooming, and everything else that comes with pet care. The Iowa City organization held a training session last week, which increased the number of volunteers from 18 to 34. There are nearly 50 Pet Peace of Mind programs in 25 states, with two other Iowa locations in West Des Moines and Council Bluffs. Check out Thursday's print edition of the Daily Iowan for the full story.
And now let's see what's going on outside of Iowa. It might look like an earthquake hit this building, but no, these students are safe. It's a 3D mural the University of Arkansas painted on the floor of a building on campus. The painting is a part of the Great Central U.S. Shakeout, which is an earthquake awareness event, and the school used the painting to make students think about earthquake safety.
A new social networking website is making it easier for military families to stay connected. Connecting All Military Others, or CAMO Connected for short, gives spouses, parents, and siblings of those in the military a place to gain support from those in similar situations. Thousands of people joined the website in its first 2 months, and the website also just came out with a mobile app for iPhones and Androids.
The Los Angeles Dodgers have been sold for more than $2 billion to a group that includes former Los Angeles Lakers star Earvin Magic Johnson. Frank McCourt, the team's previous owner, filed for bankruptcy last June. The new deal will allow McCourt to participate in a joint venture with new owners on land around Dodger Stadium.
And now for your Hawkeye Sports Update, let's go to Ian Martin.
37 years. That's how long Bob Ridds has been the Iowa diving coach, but there will be no 38th season for the Hawkeye legend who announced his retirement today, effective on June 30th. The coach, who came to Iowa in 1975, had unprecedented success at this university. Aside from coaching 4 eventual Olympians, he was a collegiate colossus, overseeing 18 All-Americans and 3 Big Ten champions. In addition, he was the diving half of a coaching staff that won back-to-back Big Ten titles in 1981 and 82. Now the 4-time Big Ten Coach of the Year released a statement about his retirement today saying, quote, "I hope that I've made a positive contribution to each of my divers that I have coached," and also adding that, quote, "His only regret is that I leave behind a great freshman and sophomore class." Now, as to why he finally decided to leave the pool, Ridds added in his statement that after 51 years in the sport as an athlete and a coach, it was finally time to move on to a new phase in his life. His retirement coincides with his youngest daughter and former All-American diver Veronica Ridds' career coming to an end this season after 5 seasons at Iowa. Now, Iowa football players spoke publicly for the first time since 2011's disappointing end today, and with so many changes surrounding the Iowa football team this offseason, it's now even more apparent that this is a program still a work in progress. But the more things change, the more they stay the same, and as DITV Sports' Annie Constable tells us, there's some new leaders bringing elder calm to the storm.
I'm Annie Constable, standing outside the Hayden Fry Football Complex, where the Iowa Hawkeyes have already begun their spring training. Now this is the time of year where the coaching staff meets with the media, talks about growth and changes that need to be made in order to be ready for the season come fall. And this year is no exception.
I think we got everything in place the way we wanted to, and so far so good. We've had 2 practices. Tempo's been really good out there. The interest and attentiveness of our players has been really pleasing thus far.
Mike is kind of a quiet leader. He doesn't say much, leads by example. But in the old commercial when E.F. Hutton, when he speaks, they listen.
I'm new to being, the oldest guy. I'm not, like I said, when I came to that meeting after the winter break, and I just looked around, I was like, wow, where's everybody at? Because I'm used to seeing, the Claibornes and the McNutts and stuff like that looking around. But now as of right now, yeah, it's a little more quiet. But I think I'll adjust to it and I'll be more of a vocal leader.
Being the oldest guy, being the most experienced guy, you got to come out and be a leader and lead by example. Go out there and work just as hard as everybody.
The young guys are doing a good job, stepping in and learning from us, and pretty much just keeping their mouth shut and just letting their play, determine how they're doing. They've been doing a good job watching film too, and actually they watch film a lot more than a lot of young guys I've seen in the past do.
Our players are eager to learn. And really coaching is coaching, and the guys we've had in the room have really been eager to learn, and it's just, as a coach, you kind of start over every year anyhow.
Thanks, Annie. Now at that same press conference today, Kirk Ferentz announced a couple more changes in the Iowa coaching staff occurring, but mostly some internal shuffling. Now recruiting coordinator Eric Johnson will no longer coach the tight ends, as that job belongs now to graduate assistant David Rye. Johnson will help part-time with the defensive line, though. Ferentz said that move intended for Johnson to focus more on his efforts as the recruiting coordinator. Lastly, Chris Polizzi is a new graduate assistant who will help coach the defense. That's all for sports today. Tune in tomorrow night for a full preview of the weekend in Hawkeye sports. Back to the desk.
And before we leave you tonight, check this out. This looks like a real-life scene from the video game Grand Theft Auto. A 27-year-old New Mexico man stole a school bus and took authorities on a chase down Interstate 40. The suspect was the only person in the bus at the time, and even after road spikes blew out the tires of the bus, it wasn't enough to stop him. Authorities were forced to shoot him twice, and he now faces 3 criminal charges.
Sounds like somebody's playing a few too many video games. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Thursday's print version of the Daily Iowan. Read about how Vice President Biden to visit the Hawkeye State.
Plus in sports, find out the results from Wednesday night's baseball game against the University of Nebraska-Omaha as Coach Dom is going for his 200th win.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out the same time tomorrow or anytime at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.